Hey guys, thank you for checking out another video. I have here two 1997 Ferraris, 1/18 scale. One created by Minichamps, released back in 1998, the top one. And below is the GP Replicas model. This has been re-released again with a driver figure now. It's a resin model below. And the price and the quality differences are massive. I've been very, very critical of GP Replicas in the past because of their incredibly inaccurate proportions and poor mistakes, yet superb detailing in other areas to kind of mask a pig, and incredibly high price point. So what I do, I'll just take them both out of the boxes and do a nice little review video. So far, I have reviewed the 94 Ferrari, and that is horrific by GP Replicas. I've also done a review on their 95 Ferrari, and that was a lot more accurate per se. So yeah, let's get on with it. So first of all, you can kind of see the size difference is massive. Again, the Minichamps model was on the top. The Minichamps model is relevant to all the other 1/18 scale models in my collection. They've got the size right back in 1998. Below is the GP Replicas model, and the size is literally 1/20th scale. It's quite laughable. It's the same as their 1997 McLaren that they made by GP Replicas a few years ago, and the 96 McLaren that they made as well. Like, the wheels are tiny, the car is like 1/20th scale. So GP Replicas were drunk when they did the scaling on the size. Anyway, the Minichamps model, it is really, really old. It doesn't hold up the best, but I'm being very critical of a really old model when Minichamps obviously through the years would increase their quality, let's say, but it still holds itself well. Now, the price point, the Minichamps model, you can pick these up very cheap on eBay. They're not worth much, I'm afraid, and Minichamps overproduced them. It was the second to last Ferrari they ever made. The GP Replicas model at the bottom costs anywhere between €250 upwards, depending on who you buy it from. So it's incredibly expensive. Now, what I'll do, I'll take the GP Replicas model out and show you around a bit better. So I've now put them side by side. In terms of the wheelbase, they're both very similar. The GP Replicas model does have photo etch parts, so that is a big bonus. Now, I am comparing two different types of models. So the first model at the bottom is the GP Replicas model based on the Canadian Grand Prix. So the spec is much different. As you can see, it doesn't have those winglets that are connecting to the rear wing. It doesn't have the TV camera. So it is a little different. The Minichamps model, I removed the old decals, the barcode decals, and fitted the Marlboro livery myself. With the museum collection decals, it's come out really, really nice. I, of course, fitted the GP Replicas decals as well. So in terms of wheelbase, it's okay. You can see on the GP Replicas model, the front wing is far too forward. It's not that accurate. GP Replicas do have a habit with mounting a huge front wing as a plough shape too far forward on their models. Don't know why they do that. The other thing which is common with GP Replicas is what they do with their tyres. They always seem to have huge tyre branding on the sidewalls, bigger than what it was in real life. Minichamps have it smaller, more accurate, and the BBS wheels are the wrong pattern. I did manage to rotate the tyres around, so the Goodyear branding is not mounted at the top like they seem to do on all their models, which I don't like. And here's a comparison of the front wings. Now, I'm not going to completely say the GP Replicas model's awful, because there are some things I do like about it. I'm comparing two models, 27 years apart, aren't I? So the quality is going to be very different. But to talk about the positives of the GP Replicas model, to be fair, and this is not one of their worst models by far. It's one of their best that I've had anyway. The photo etch parts, so for the fueling rig, you have this nice photo etch section. The helmet for GP Replicas, they seem to be very poor at helmets. I believe on this 97 Ferrari, they did a really good job of the helmet. So, I mean, for the price, you would expect this, of course. There's nice photo etch details on the seatbelt. The steering wheel as well. They were missing a few marble decals, so I had to fit my own to the helmet. The paint job is nice. It's probably a bit too shiny, but well, it is what it is. GP Replicas seem to like doing incredibly shiny paintwork. The common negatives about GP Replicas is their chassis weave pattern is far too prominent and obvious. So again, you'll see it on the suspension and front wings and the rear wings as well. It does stare out obvious because you're watching Formula One on the TV. You never saw, you know, reptile snakeskin pattern on any carbon fiber, did you? It was black because the carbon fiber weave pattern is so thin and tiny, but and intricate. But oops. But that's GP Replicas for you. Again, you see it inside the cockpit here. This massive carbon fiber pattern. The other negative is the driver figure is far too anorexic and skinny. He looks like he hasn't eaten for 5 years, or 5 years old. In relation to the helmet size, of course, you'll see how gangly his legs are, like E.T., and skinny. So, now a view from above. And just to show the rear as well. So one benefit with the the GP Replicas model is you do have the slit in the rear wing. And it was nice to fit the decals to that. It's come out really well. Obviously the Minichamps model is more basic, so it's not going to have those slits. Again, the Minichamps model is really old. In terms of the tyre size, you can see the difference here on the GP Replicas model. That's level to level there. So GP Replicas have made a tyre wider but a lot smaller. And this is what I'm saying compared to all my other 118s. The tyre size, it looks way too small. It looks like 1/20th scale. So that's a negative from GP Replicas there. Again, the chassis weave on the brake ducts and the bottom of the floor looks way too... Again, it looks like a snake skin, doesn't it? I don't know why they do that. On the rear wing. Some nice photo etch parts like the aerial and the TV camera. Obviously the chassis bolts from the GP Replicas model are way too big, like 1/12 scale again. Typical with them. Again, you can see the helmet design again, it looks really nice. But the ET driver figure, like look at those arms. Like what? I don't know why they're so skinny. But a positive, I'm not going to say it's a rubbish model. The steering wheel detail's nice. See my nice marble decal there. The Minichamps model is obviously way more basic with no photo etch parts, but hey, what do you expect? It's 1998. So the GP Replicas model here. So just to summarise the end of the video, a very short GP Replicas versus Minichamps model. I'm giving it a tie on this occasion because the GP Replicas model is definitely one of their better models, but they've messed up on proportions with the wheels just being far too small, the tyre decals being way too big on the sidewalls, the common problems with the chassis weave on the carbon fibre being too large, and the chassis bolt fasteners being too large. But other than that, it's not a bad model. The Minichamps model is far too outdated, but fitting decals, it does come out a lot nicer and it's a lot better. So yeah, this is a short diecast review. It's a draw in my opinion between GP Replicas and Minichamps. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if there's any comments you want to give or any feedback, just fire away. I'd love to hear your comments on which model you prefer. And I do think this is one of GP Replicas' better models. But thank you for watching this video, and let me know your thoughts on both models.